You think it's just a harmless drink, but what you sip in the afternoon could be the reason you're waking up at 3 a.m. every single night. In this video, you'll discover the hidden triggers in everyday beverages that quietly sabotage your sleep and what to do instead. You wake up, again, 3:17 a.m., same as last night and the night before. Your feet hit the cold floor, your body heavier than it should be, and your mind already dreading the broken sleep you'll carry into your day. What if the answer isn't in a new mattress, blackout curtains, or even sleep supplements? What if it's in what you drank just a few hours earlier? For millions of people, especially in North America, afternoon beverages are part of a ritual. A comforting cup of tea after lunch, an energy drink to push through the late work hours, a glass of juice while watching your favorite show, or a tall iced coffee on the drive home. Seems innocent, maybe even healthy. But here's what almost no one talks about. Many of these beverages are quietly setting you up for one of the most disruptive nighttime health issues, nocturia. Nocturia is the medical term for waking up one or more times during the night to urinate. And while it might sound like a minor inconvenience, research shows it can disrupt your body's entire rhythm, leading to fatigue, irritability, impaired memory, and even reduced immune function. Not to mention its long-term effects on metabolic health and blood pressure regulation. But here's the twist. It's not just about what you drink, it's also when and how you drink it. And before we go any further, let me make a promise. At the end of this video, I'm going to reveal a bonus tip, a powerful natural beverage that helps protect your bladder and support uninterrupted sleep. It's easy to make, inexpensive, and surprisingly overlooked. So stay with me until the end, especially because some of the common drinks you rely on might be doing more harm than good. Now back to our afternoon beverages. Most people think of nighttime bathroom trips as an inevitable part of aging. But the real culprits often start creeping in much earlier in the day. The problem is that some beverages, even those marketed as healthy, contain ingredients that either stimulate the bladder, increase urine production, or both. That means your 3 p.m. drink might be the reason you're wide awake at 3 a.m. The tricky part is, these effects aren't always immediate. For example, you might sip on something at 4 p.m. that doesn't fully impact your system until your body starts winding down hours later. This delayed reaction is why so many people miss the connection. The consequences of ignoring this pattern go far beyond lost sleep. Chronic sleep disruption caused by nocturia has been linked to hormonal imbalances, increased cortisol levels, poor blood sugar control, and even weight gain. And it becomes a cycle. Sleep less, stress more, eat worse, and repeat, all triggered by what seemed like a harmless afternoon beverage. And let's not forget the psychological toll. Constantly waking up in the middle of the night, breaking the body's natural deep sleep cycles, can lead to anxiety around bedtime. You begin to expect poor sleep, which in turn contributes to it. It's a frustrating loop, but one that's absolutely reversible. So why is this such a hidden issue? Partly because beverage culture, especially in Western countries, glamorizes afternoon drinks. Think of all the marketing. The 4 p.m. coffee run, the refreshing iced tea on a hot day, or the relaxing herbal drink before dinner. And while not all of these are problematic, some of them are stealthy sleep saboteurs. Their ingredients, whether it's caffeine, sugar, or even natural acids, can impact your body's ability to stay asleep by triggering diuresis, increased urine production, or irritating the bladder wall. You may be thinking, I don't drink energy drinks. I avoid caffeine after lunch, and I stay hydrated. But hydration isn't just about quantity, it's about timing and content. A poorly timed beverage, or one with certain compounds, can undo all the other healthy habits you've built into your routine. And that's what we're going to explore. One drink at a time, one hidden effect at a time. We're going to identify what's helping and what's hurting. Because better nights don't start at bedtime, they start in the afternoon. And the next beverage we'll look at is one most people consider a health hero. It's plant-based, antioxidant-rich, and often recommended as a coffee alternative. But what you're about to learn might completely change the way you see it, especially if uninterrupted sleep is a priority. Don't skip this next one. Ignoring it might not only reduce your results, It could cause unexpected side effects that undermine your efforts entirely. It looks earthy. It smells soothing. It promises calm, antioxidants, and a healthier alternative to coffee. But what if I told you that your afternoon cup of tea, yes, even the one labeled herbal or natural, could be quietly disrupting your bladder's peace while you sleep? Let's talk about one of the most common mistakes people make when trying to live healthier, assuming that every natural beverage is automatically good for you, no matter the time of day. That assumption, as it turns out, is often the very reason people struggle with nocturia and never make the connection. Tea, especially green, black, and even oolong, contains more than just caffeine. It's also loaded with compounds like theobromine and theophylline, natural stimulants that not only affect your nervous system, but also act as mild diuretics. These substances signal your kidneys to increase urine production. The result? Even if you drink that cup at 2 or 3 in the afternoon, it could still be ramping up your bladder's activity well into the night. Now you might be thinking, I only drink herbal tea. That's a good start, but even among herbal varieties, there are hidden triggers. Peppermint, chamomile, hibiscus, while soothing in many ways, can still have bladder-stimulating effects, especially in sensitive individuals. Hibiscus, for instance, is a known mild diuretic. Chamomile relaxes the bladder muscles, which might sound beneficial but can sometimes lead to increased urgency if consumed too late in the day. Let's not forget the temperature factor. Many people in the US prefer their tea iced, especially during warmer months. Iced tea, often consumed in larger quantities than hot tea, can increase the overall intake of diuretics. It also tends to be sweetened, adding sugar, another hidden enemy when it comes to nocturia. Sugar spikes blood glucose, which leads the body to pull more water into the bladder to help flush out the excess. That's why even naturally sweetened or honey-infused teas can have an unintended nighttime consequence. And here's something most labels won't tell you. The concentration of these compounds varies widely between tea brands and preparation methods. Steeping time, water temperature, even the leaf cut, all affect how much of the diuretic substances end up in your cup, meaning 2 people drinking the same type of tea could experience very different results. There's also the habit factor. Many people use tea as an afternoon ritual to signal a mental shift from work to relaxation. But if that tea is causing them to wake up at 1 a.m., 3:30 a.m., or 5 a.m., it's doing the exact opposite of what they intended. Restorative sleep is being replaced by fragmented rest, and their body enters a stress loop without them even realizing it. Let's be clear. Tea isn't the villain. It's about awareness and timing. Some teas can be incredibly healing when consumed at the right time, in the right amount, and with the right preparation. If you enjoy tea, consider switching to non-diuretic herbs like roasted barley, rooibos, or marshmallow root for your afternoon rituals. These are gentler on the bladder and won't overstimulate your kidneys late in the day. Also, consider shorter steep times or using cooler water to reduce the concentration of active compounds. Even small changes like this can make a powerful difference in your nighttime comfort and your next day energy. Because here's the truth. The habits that shape your nights begin with the rituals of your afternoons. When you reclaim control over what's in your cup, you take the first step toward deeper rest, better mood regulation, improved metabolism, and a stronger immune response. If your goal is lasting wellness and not just short-term relaxation, your afternoon choices matter more than you think. And we're just getting started. The next drink we'll explore is one that hides in plain sight, usually with a healthy label and bright, inviting packaging. But it's not the sweetness that makes it dangerous. It's what it does inside your body after the sun goes down. And if you skip this next one, the side effects might not just be annoying. They could quietly work against your long-term health in ways most people never suspect. It's colorful. It feels refreshing. It's even labeled as 100% natural or no added sugar. So it must be good for you, right? But here's the reality. Some of the most common afternoon drinks, especially fruit juices and health beverages, might be one of the biggest reasons your bladder keeps waking you up at night. We've already talked about how tea and caffeine-based drinks can interfere with your sleep. But what surprises most people is how something as seemingly harmless as a glass of juice can cause such a strong ripple effect in your body. And we're not just talking about sugar highs. We're talking about what happens after the sweetness fades. Let's start with the obvious. Many fruit juices, even the ones labeled as natural, are highly concentrated sources of fructose. Fructose is a natural sugar found in fruits, but when it's consumed in liquid form, without the fiber that normally comes with whole fruit, it enters your system quickly, too quickly. This sudden rush of sugar triggers your pancreas to release insulin, your kidneys to work harder, and your bladder to respond with urgency. And while this might not feel dramatic in the moment, the problem starts when it becomes routine. A glass after lunch, another with a snack, and maybe even one in the early evening. These repeated spikes train your body into a cycle of fluid imbalance, sugar surges, and reactive elimination. You may notice that after drinking certain juices, especially apple, grape, cranberry, or orange, your mouth feels a bit dry, and you're thirstier a little later. That's your body pulling water from cells to dilute the sugar concentration in your bloodstream. And that excess water? It gets processed by your kidneys and sent straight to your bladder. The more frequently this happens, the more likely you are to wake up in the night. What's even more surprising is how these juices can irritate the bladder lining. Citrus juices, in particular, are acidic. Orange, lemon, and grapefruit juice can create bladder hypersensitivity in certain people, especially when consumed in the second half of the day. The acidity doesn't just pass through, it can inflame. And don't be fooled by detox drinks or trendy bottled fruit blends with ingredients like beet, pomegranate, or acai. While many of these have undeniable health properties when consumed properly, their concentrated forms, especially when processed or sweetened, can act just like traditional fruit juices in terms of bladder stimulation. Then there's the hidden problem of sugar alcohols and artificial sweeteners. Many reduced-calorie or no-sugar-added juices use ingredients like sorbitol, erythritol, or stevia blends. These sugar substitutes may help with calorie control, but they are also known bladder irritants in some individuals, increasing urgency and frequency. So what can you do if you enjoy juice? Start by rethinking the portion and timing. Instead of a full glass in the afternoon, try diluting your juice with water, at least 50-50, or switching to infused water using real fruit slices. You'll still get the flavor without the overload of sugar and acidity. Also, consider moving your juice consumption to the first half of the day. Your metabolism is more active in the morning, and your body has more hours to process fluids before bedtime. It's a small change that can yield a huge improvement in the depth and quality of your sleep. You can also opt for juices with lower glycemic impact, like cucumber, celery, or watermelon, but always in moderation. And if you're reaching for juice for hydration, it's time to ask yourself whether you're drinking it out of habit, thirst, or taste. Often, plain filtered water with a splash of fresh lemon or a sprig of mint can satisfy that need without triggering nocturnal consequences. By understanding how these seemingly innocent drinks affect your bladder, you're not just improving your nights. You're supporting your kidneys, balancing your blood sugar, and giving your body the chance to heal and restore itself properly during deep sleep. Remember, every sip you take has a consequence, especially when taken in the hours that lead into the evening. Being mindful of your afternoon habits can help transform your sleep and your health in ways you never expected. And the next beverage might shock you even more, because it's not sweet, not caffeinated, and not even considered a problem by most people. In fact, it's marketed as the ultimate hydration solution. But when consumed at the wrong time or in the wrong quantity, it could quietly undo all the progress you've made so far. And if you overlook this one, the side effects could go far beyond poor sleep. They could affect your electrolyte balance and kidney function over time. Stay tuned. This next insight could be the turning point for your nights. It's not sugary. It's not caffeinated. It's often labeled as electrolyte balanced, hydrating, or even essential. And yet, sports drinks and flavored waters might be playing a major role in disrupting your bladder and your sleep, all under the radar. If you've been avoiding sugary juices and cutting down on tea or caffeine, you're already on the right path. But now, it's time to look at a category of beverages that most people never question: Electrolyte drinks, performance waters, and even the trendy flavored hydration enhancers that seem to be everywhere. Let's start with sodium, one of the core ingredients in most electrolyte beverages. In moderation and in the right context, sodium is critical for nerve function, muscle contraction, and maintaining fluid balance. That's why sports drinks were originally created, to help athletes recover after intense physical exertion in hot environments. But here's where things get tricky. When you consume sodium-rich beverages in the afternoon, especially without intense exercise or sweat loss to justify them, your body may attempt to rebalance by retaining water. This retention doesn't just sit in your bloodstream. Eventually, as your body tries to flush excess sodium, your kidneys respond by increasing urine output, often during the night. That's why something that feels hydrating in the moment might later force your bladder into overdrive while you're trying to sleep. Now layer in potassium, magnesium, and other electrolytes that are commonly added to flavored waters. These minerals have a role in hydration, but when consumed in excess, or too late in the day, they can overstimulate certain pathways in the kidneys, increasing fluid filtration and disrupting the body's natural circadian rhythm for fluid control. It's not about whether these minerals are good or bad. It's about when and how they're consumed. Then there's the artificial flavoring. Many flavored waters and electrolyte drinks use synthetic or natural flavors that include citric acid, preservatives, or chemical additives. These compounds can irritate the lining of the bladder in sensitive individuals, increasing both the urgency and frequency of urination. And it doesn't stop there. Even carbonated electrolyte drinks, like those marketed as zero-calorie fitness boosters, have their own downside. Carbonation increases gas pressure in the stomach and can press against the bladder, especially in those with less abdominal muscle tone. This creates an added sense of urgency to urinate, even if your bladder isn't full. Combine that with sodium, and you've got a recipe for disrupted sleep. Another overlooked factor is the timing of consumption. Many people grab these drinks after work, post-gym, or even during evening walks. While the intention is to hydrate and replenish, the side effect is often an overloaded urinary system that continues working well past bedtime. And let's not forget the psychological piece. We associate these drinks with health. They feel smart, modern, and proactive. But that perception can lead to overconsumption. Instead of treating electrolyte drinks as a recovery tool for intense exertion, they become casual hydration replacements, consumed even when the body doesn't truly need them. If you find yourself reaching for a sports drink or flavored water in the afternoon, consider your actual level of activity and your sweat loss. Unless you've been training hard or working in extreme heat, you likely don't need the added sodium or potassium at that time of day. In fact, plain filtered water, or even better, naturally infused water with herbs like mint or basil, might serve you better without burdening your bladder. And if you truly enjoy electrolyte drinks, try moving them to your morning routine when your body is ramping up for the day and your kidneys are more active. This allows you to benefit from the minerals without sacrificing your rest later. Understanding this subtle but powerful link between mineral intake, fluid retention, and nocturnal elimination can dramatically improve not just your sleep, but your overall kidney and cardiovascular health over time. Because deep, uninterrupted sleep is one of the body's most powerful healing tools, and it begins with the choices we make long before the sun goes down. And yet, there's one more drink we need to talk about. It's the most basic, the most universal, and the one you'd never expect to be a problem. But when used incorrectly, even this most natural of fluids can create imbalances that ripple through your entire system. Ignoring this final tip not only reduces the effectiveness of all the others, it could quietly create strain on your bladder, your sleep, and even your blood pressure. And that's exactly why you don't want to miss it. It's clear, pure, and essential to life. It's the foundation of every health recommendation, from weight loss to detoxification to digestion. But when it comes to water, yes, even plain water, there's a detail that most people overlook. And that simple oversight can be the hidden cause behind your nightly trips to the bathroom. You've avoided caffeine, you've minimized sugar and acidic juices, you've even rethought electrolyte drinks. But still, your sleep is disrupted. That's when most people throw up their hands and say, I'm doing everything right. Why am I still waking up? The answer, in many cases, is hydration timing. We've been taught to drink more water. 8 glasses a day is the old standard, and the new advice is often, listen to your thirst. But neither of those approaches account for the rhythms of the human body, especially the delicate interplay between kidney activity, bladder sensitivity, and your natural circadian clock. Your kidneys don't function at the same intensity all day. They follow a rhythm, more active during daylight hours and naturally slowing down toward the evening. This pattern is essential for restorative sleep. But if you flood your system with water in the late afternoon or early evening, you override that natural slowdown. You give your kidneys a job they weren't meant to handle at that hour. And it's not just the amount of water, it's how fast you drink it. Sipping small amounts throughout the day supports your body's hydration needs more effectively than chugging large volumes all at once. When you drink a lot of water in a short time, especially in the late afternoon or evening, your body reacts by expelling the excess quickly. That means more urgency, more trips to the bathroom, and more disruptions during the night. This is why so many people who hydrate responsibly during the day still find themselves waking up at 2 or 3 a.m. with an urgent need to urinate. Their total water intake isn't the problem. It's the concentration of that intake in the hours leading up to bed. Let's also talk about temperature. Cold water is more likely to stimulate the bladder compared to room temperature or warm water. The cooling effect causes a mild constriction in some internal tissues, increasing bladder sensitivity. If you're sipping iced water or cold beverages late in the day, you may be unintentionally triggering your bladder into nighttime activity. What's more, many people confuse thirst with habit. Reaching for a glass of water after dinner can feel like a healthy reflex, but often it's not about true thirst. It's just routine. And if that glass is full, and your body doesn't truly need it, your system has no choice but to eliminate the excess. Another overlooked detail is water combined with food. Drinking large amounts of water with meals, especially dinner, can interfere with digestion and cause delayed gastric emptying. That means more fluid sitting in your system for longer, potentially shifting elimination toward the hours when you should be resting. So, how do you hydrate in a way that supports your body without sabotaging your sleep? Start by front-loading your water intake. Prioritize hydration in the morning and early afternoon. Drink a full glass upon waking, continue with steady intake throughout the day, and taper off after 5 p.m. If you exercise in the evening, hydrate during and immediately after, but do so with awareness. Choose smaller sips and warmer fluids when possible. Try to stop all water intake 1.5 to 2 hours before bedtime. Give your kidneys enough time to process and your bladder enough time to relax before you lay down. This alone can dramatically reduce nocturia episodes and improve sleep quality. And most importantly, listen to your body, not your habits. Are you truly thirsty, or just following a pattern? Being mindful of your hydration habits, especially in the hours before sleep, can give you back the uninterrupted rest your body desperately needs. Because deep, healing sleep isn't just about what you avoid. It's about the rhythm you create with every sip, every swallow, every decision. And now that you understand how even water, the most basic element of wellness, can impact your nights, you're ready for the final step. This next tip isn't just a suggestion. It's the key to bringing all the previous steps together. It's a natural solution that strengthens your body's ability to stay asleep by working with your bladder, not against it. And if you ignore this last piece, you may miss out on the full benefits of everything you've learned so far, and unintentionally keep your body locked in a cycle of interrupted rest and recovery. After everything we've uncovered, from caffeine and sugars to artificial flavors and even plain water, you might be wondering, is there anything I can drink in the afternoon that actually helps? The answer is yes. And not only is it helpful, it may become the most powerful addition to your routine for protecting your bladder, supporting restful sleep, and calming your nervous system naturally. It starts with understanding your bladder's late-day behavior. As the body winds down toward evening, your nervous system begins shifting into parasympathetic mode, your natural rest and repair state. But for many people, especially those consuming stimulating or irritating beverages, this transition never fully happens. The bladder remains reactive, sensitive, easily triggered. But certain natural compounds have the ability to soothe that reactivity. They don't sedate or suppress, they support. And one of the most accessible and effective ways to do that is through a carefully selected herbal infusion designed for bladder health. One such infusion combines roasted pumpkin seed with German chamomile. This duo works in harmony. Pumpkin seed extract has been studied for its benefits in supporting healthy bladder function, especially in reducing the urgency and frequency of urination. It helps relax the bladder wall and improve its elasticity, so it holds fluid more comfortably. Chamomile, meanwhile, calms the smooth muscles and encourages your nervous system to unwind, making it easier for the whole body to embrace stillness. But like every step we've discussed so far, the how matters as much as the what. To make this infusion effective, preparation must be intentional. Use 1 teaspoon of roasted pumpkin seeds and 1 teaspoon of dried German chamomile flowers. Add them to freshly boiled water and let steep, covered, for 10 to 12 minutes. Strain and sip slowly, ideally between 2 p.m. and 3:30 p.m. This timing allows the compounds to be absorbed and metabolized before your body begins its evening transition. Avoid adding sweeteners, even natural ones like honey or agave, as they may counteract the soothing effects. If you prefer a hint of flavor, add a small piece of cinnamon stick during steeping. Not only does it add warmth and depth, but cinnamon also helps stabilize blood sugar, further reducing unnecessary nighttime urination triggers. This drink doesn't just address the bladder. It supports your entire sleep system. By calming your nerves, reducing inflammation, and improving bladder control, it sets the stage for uninterrupted restorative rest. And here's the best part. It empowers you. You're no longer guessing or hoping that sleep will come. You're building a foundation, layer by layer, with choices that align your biology with your lifestyle. Of course, no single beverage is a miracle, but combined with the steps you've taken so far, reducing stimulants, controlling sugar, balancing minerals, moderating water, and now introducing a supportive herbal routine, you've created something truly powerful. A system designed to work with your body, not against it. It's a shift in perspective as much as it is a shift in habits. From chasing quick fixes to cultivating deep understanding. From reacting to symptoms to anticipating and preventing them. When you take this approach, something incredible happens. Your body starts trusting you. Your sleep deepens. Your mood stabilizes. Your energy rebounds. And what once felt like a frustrating mystery, waking up multiple times each night, becomes something you now understand, manage, and begin to reverse. So let this final step be the anchor. Make your afternoon ritual intentional, brew with care, sip with purpose, and give your body a message it's been waiting to hear. It's safe to rest. It's safe to sleep. If this journey brought you clarity, insight, or even just one helpful idea, don't keep it to yourself. Someone you know is probably struggling silently with the same nighttime interruptions. Share this. Help someone else sleep better, feel better, and live with more peace. And if you'd like to keep learning simple ways to restore balance naturally, support this channel, like, comment, subscribe, and be part of a growing community that's choosing to heal with wisdom, not just quick fixes.